Kishore. Welcome to GWFM CX interview series. Good to have you with us today. And recently just interviewed a lot of global leaders. Happy to have you with us today. GWFM is being knowledge sharing platform and then professional networking. We want to touch all the WFM and HR professionals' heart and soul, and we are committed to create thought leadership around globally. And we've been doing a lot of events, a lot of thought leadership series, talks. And I'm sure that today's discussion with you is going to be great learning for me and also for the community.
Thank you, Mr. Shiva, for hosting us. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to interact with the global audience using your platform. We appreciate the same at Fusion.
That's our pleasure having you with us today. So I have a few questions to converse with you, Kishore. To start with, first one, how well you have managed pandemic times, especially your workforce well-being, and how are they getting motivated to work from home?
I think so. It would be fair to say it was very challenging in order to start with, to see that how do we keep safety, health and safety first of all of our employees and all our workforce, and that is a mantra which has been driving us all along. During, if you see, we are exactly 6 months into pandemic. The whole pandemic started around, in a true sense, in different parts of the globe, around 28th or 25th of March, and we are around that time. Where 6 months have elapsed during this time. So we at a Fusion treat our workforce as the strength. Ultimately, we believe we are in a business which is pretty service oriented, and our employees stays at the forefront of our entire organization, as they are the face of the organization who interacts with various customers and their end customers. So it's very important that they give or they provide the best when interacting or working with various organizations. And that is a mantra which has always driven. So it was extremely important for us to take well care of them during this time, so that either personally or family wise they don't feel stressful. So first thing which we did was keeping health and safety guidelines. So we operate in 8 countries, and each country have their own set of guidelines. So we worked very closely with various government agencies to understand how they intend us to handle those needs of our employees, and because they are the expert, so we just left it to the expert in terms of what rules and regulations we should follow. So that is what we did in terms of following those guidelines right from the day one and even today, and we always thought it's good to err on the side of a safety rather than trying to brave it out. So we always have taken those precautionary or proactive steps. In fact, we were the first one of the few organizations who started seeing the trend coming in from other industries, especially the travel and tourism, where people have started issuing safety guidelines, and we picked it up. And even before government started giving direction, we started sending people home. We saw this clearly coming, keeping safety of our employees and well-being in mind. So that has always been a driving force from our perspective. I think so. Having said that, you provide that safety, but that addresses so much concern only in a sense. Ultimately, we all are human beings, and we all are social human beings. We like to interact with each other, and that brought in an additional challenge, I would say, in terms of employee morale and their level of stress. What we saw that initially people were kind of pretty happy that they have been able to work along with their loved ones from the home, and they were being able to, perform as they moved along. But during, I would say, 3 to 4 months into the process, we started seeing people were feeling stressed out because they were not being able to interact or with either their colleagues or peers, and you can achieve so much. So that is where we realized, and we started using one of the proprietary tool which we have, which we can talk more, which is FEMS, using that as a tool. How you start taking periodic survey, how do you start doing more of employee engagement activity, more around the virtual environment, so that doing rewards and recognition using those tools and sharing, in this world, we as a human being with all these social media and all that, we would like to share what is happening in and around us and interact. So we use those tools very effectively to see that our employees are very well engaged, and doing these periodic surveys using this tool to see that how satisfied with they are, what are the reasons or concerns which they have, or what help they are needing, during these times. So that has been really the mantra, which we have taken, and providing that freedom and flexibility. And as things have started opening up in different parts of the world,
Okay.
although in some places like US or India, there are no reason for you not to come to office, in a sense, from the government perspective. They have allowed fully, but we are still providing that flexibility to people. If you want to come and work from the office, you are free to do that. Office is open, but we still encourage all our people, to continue to work from home and maintain minimum presence to the extent which is required, so that they take well care of themselves. Health is wealth, as you say it, So that's what has really been a driving force from our perspective.
Absolutely. There's been a great motivating, and also I see a lot of agility, and you brought in a lot of discipline, and given kind of flexibility to employees, and the way you have been taking care of employees has been phenomenal. In fact,
Absolutely.
that's a good thing, and happy to know that. And moving on, if you could share some stories of BCP during the pandemic. I know that it's been kind of unpredicted. All of a sudden, we never faced this kind of situation in the past. This is a damn new situation. All of us had to go through this. Let's hear from your story, that how will BCP managed by Fusion? We could throw some light on that.
Absolutely, we would love to do that. So normally, as you know, that BCP, when people talk about, they plan for either a particular site is down for maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, going up to a day or two, and you always have a backup plan that, okay, I'll get another site which is 5 miles from here, or, I'll be able to transition our call volume in our scenario to another country, or something like that. Either you could have a BCP from a perspective that some servers goes down or some infrastructure goes down. You never, nobody ever thought of these kind of a scenario where the entire country is shut down, in a sense, and you can't operate virtually out of office at any point of a time. And not only one country, it's all over the globe. So it became extremely, and if we look at 6 months back, we are very pleased, and we are very happy with the way we have handled the whole BCP as a process. So as I was explaining to you earlier, Mr. Shiva, we started seeing this trend of something very concerning happening, looking at travel and tourism industry. where you started seeing a lot of emails coming from airlines like Delta, American, that they are getting concerned about the safety, where people are there in a close knit areas in a plane and all that. So we took a cue from there, and we thought that it's only the matter of time when in a closed environment like a call center, where the density of the people is very high, it's going to get impacted. So we started working and looking at our processes. What is important during these times, to take care. We started looking at more of our technology platform to see that how we can enable it for people to work from home. And we across all our locations, we are very happy. We are very pleased that right from day one we are being able to transition practically, I would say, all of our workforce to work from home, keeping key concern, which is security first, apart from the health and safety, which always gets taken care once people are working from home. They're not moving out. The security aspect, which was very concerning from our client perspective. So we started interacting ahead of time in terms of providing them update and suggesting that what we are seeing in the marketplace, and started taking permission from them that look, we feel so that this is going to come, and it's better to start early rather than when the clampdown happens, then you are rushing towards the same. So I think so that really helped in terms of, and our client very much appreciated that, addressing their concerns in a timely manner. And we in fact, in the BPO industry, as you know, that all the customers have 2 or 3 vendors, and for at least for, I would say, for first 15 to 30 days, we are the only provider who were being able to service them, because the providers were not ready, and they just caught napping during these challenging times. Mm-hmm. So we were happy to provide business continuity in a true sense from their perspective. So that is one aspect from an employee and a security aspect. I think so. What becomes very critical during this phase is more or less the core technology in terms of telephony or internet is available with everybody in this world. But whether you have adequate tools, which is there during these challenging times, which helps you to interact with your own employees, to provide them what is happening, on their performance or on their quality parameters, as you understand, which becomes extremely important, and to monitor them on a real-time basis. I think so. The team has been working very aggressively in terms of building and deploying this tool, what we call it as FEMS, and this tool came across as very handy. So all the features which we were thinking to be using in a environment where we are working from office came across as very handy, So the entire, whether it is a recruitment module where you can still recruit, employees can apply online, you can do the interviewer can do the interview, agents can upload all their documents online, and you issue the offer letter. From training, you can use the tools to do the training and do the evaluation using FEMS as a tool, or the entire performance metrics of all the agents. We are being able to share with the agents as well as our customers. So this really enabled us to, let agents know how they are performing and how their performance against team. So instead of using Excel spreadsheet, and other tools, we were being able to manage our own in-house tool, which came across as very handy. But that is part of the story. The best part of the story is in terms of quality, So this tool enables you to, any agent to listen to his own calls and see how the quality analyst has graded his calls, and dispute if he's not agreeing with the same. So it's a whole ecosystem which was built around this tool, end-to-end kind of a thing. So this really helped us significantly, and we did provide the visibility not only to our agents but also to our clients using this tool, so they can see that what is our recruitment funnel, what is our performance management, how different employees are performing, what is their QA. So one would not like to see that these kind of things happen, but somehow you feel so that this tool was created ideally for this kind of a scenario, where you are not interacting on a face-to-face, but this tool is being able to address the entire life cycle of any employee or a customer, from our perspective. So we have seen this significant advantage which we have seen coming out of this tool, and I think so this really enabled us to be a key differentiator and come out very successful so far, in terms of deploying our BCP, a solution in a true sense. And it's not really a BCP in a sense; it's a business as usual. It's no longer a business continuity plan. It's transitioning from a business continuity plan to business as usual, working from home, is what we have seen using this tool in a very effective manner.
Absolutely, that has been very comprehensive that process, and also talking about. I liked about BCP to business as usual.
Yes, that's what we transition. So in 45 days or 60 days into the process, we started engaging, because it's very important when you see that this is the way it is going to be there for some time. Very important to change your mindset, because now if this is a new normal life for some time to come, and it's not going to change so frequent, so immediately, I would say, it's very important that this is no longer business continuity, but this is business as usual. And that is the way we should get everybody to think in our mindset, move to a true virtual environment where even if it is for years to come, how you are enabling your entire company to work from home,
And that's a way forward, and I see that very transformational journey that since last 6 months, that what you people
absolutely
have having is a phenomenal journey. In fact, you talked about the tool which you have talked about just now. I know that recently Fusion got an award for this tool, best and innovative product tool. Want to check and also ask that what is the plan for you to market this? I know that there are a lot of products in the market, but not to the need for the business, not to the need for the requirement, right? So you find a lot of features available, but you don't really find what I want now, okay? And especially you made it very meticulously, this is need for an hour, right?
Yes.
You could share your plan that, how you want to market it in a global market. I know that recent research by GWFM, there's a $20 billion US potential market for the HR and WFM. There's huge opportunity. Everyone is getting into automation now, and otherwise,
Right.
you can't run their shop. There's a situation. If you could share some light on how you want to market this, to the market. I'm sure that you already started doing it for the clients.
Yes.
Let me hear from you.
So I think so. What one needs to understand what is the market landscape first before we start positioning this product to the market. What you'll find is a lot of tools which is purely a HR focused tool, which enables you to do the recruitment and hiring and all that. Then you see a lot of learning and development tools which are standalone, which is which you can use. You will find there's a lot of buzzword around gamification, which is essentially sharing the information, with the agents so that they can visualize how they are doing and how their peers are doing. So essentially, you see a lot of new tools coming into the marketplace, and then you see a lot of quality management tools, So you see a lot of these tools which are available on a standalone, but essentially they don't speak to each other, and you don't get a comprehensive view of the entire solution when it comes to call center environment or a business process outsourcing, and all these have been developed in some way or other by a technological company who understand partially the need, when they have been engaged into the business. I think so. Where we started looking at it around 2.5 years back, with our team. How do we map the entire customer life cycle or employee, life cycle using this as a tool? So, I think so. Where we came from is the domain expertise, which is the call center. We understand working with 150 odd customers on a global basis, having a diversified customer base, having a diversified geographical operations. We understand that every customer is having a different needs, and how do you bring those needs slowly and steadily? So this tool essentially addresses all the tools. It's still it's still living and breathing tool, what we call it. So continuous assessment or reassessment, depending upon where the business is going or the needs are arising, is there. It keeps on evolving. So we have seen that very significant evolution of this tool happening in the last 2 odd years, I would say. And we feel so that this is getting into the stage where it's kind of a very digitally strong platform. And how do we bring in more and more proprietary technologies, like to bring in part of this tool, which is whether speech to text or artificial intelligence or robotics, to enable to enable and provide a complete digital solution, to our client base. I think so. What we have started seeing, so as I was explaining to you earlier, the approach which you have taken is to deploy across all our sites first, and so that around 150 odd customers are being able to see this tool in real life action, and the way we have seen interest coming in with some of our clients, as I was explaining to you, any large player, will have multiple vendors, right, which they use to take the services. And if we are using this tool, and the manager who is on the customer side, they see that where they have been able to get a visibility in terms of what is our recruitment funnel, what is happening on the quality, what is happening on the performance, and other vendors not being able to provide those kind of a visibility. So we have started getting a lot of inquiry from our customer in terms of, hey, you are using this tool for your own platform, but can I get this deployed as a standard best operating practices in the other vendor environment, on a license basis. So we are working very closely with a couple of our customers at this point of a time. I think so this would be the first part of the journey, and this would enable us, to deploy and get our name out. Our name is already getting out in the marketplace, and we feel so that is the best way, where our customers start speaking about us and getting it into the marketplace. Once we see that, the second stage, or I would say third stage, would be to actively start participating into trade shows or conferences, But I would say that would be more like 2021 or 2022 as the product gets more mature, into the marketplace, and as we start deploying more with our customers. So in first part of our digital transformation is to see that how our customers are taking use of it in our own environment. Second stage is how our customers are taking use in other environment, and they make it as a standard part of their tool deployment, in terms of managing their entire call center partners. And third stage would be, I would say, to go into broader marketplace, where we need to develop a strategy around, to get our name broadly out in the marketplace. And that is where we feel so that participating into trade shows or conferences like one which the global workforce management team does, or in more industry specific, to create more use cases around the same, and
Sure.
actively go out in the marketplace, to do that. So that is the way we are thinking about it, But key thing is, if you are being able to create a value around this, people will come. So, and that's what the focus of our entire team is. We are extremely proud with the way our team has gone and developed this tool in such a short span of time.
That's really disruptive. And you people are really try doing it for the internal usage, and now bringing it to the market. Wow, this has been a phenomenal journey, and I see that there's a need for Hover, and there's a need in the business, and that I see that you are absolutely in right place at the right time. And as
Thank
president,
you.
bring this product to the market. Happy to help you from the GWFM point of view.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
We'll take
talking.
all the help at the right time. We want this product to become a little bit more matured, I would say, before we really, and I think so. The current environment is also not conducive, in a sense. Once the world starts opening up more, that would be the right time.
Absolutely. I agree. And there has been a great journey and great story to listen to. That's amazing. I have a last point to talk about, not the least. So, who's your role model CEO, and who do you look up to, Kishore?
So I would say I've been very fortunate enough, in terms of working with some great people prior to me starting this journey as an entrepreneur. I worked with some of really great people, great CEOs, I would say, who brings their own unique strength and capability, and I've learned a lot, personally. So that's more from a personal perspective. I personally feel so I owe it a lot to them, in terms of how I idealize them. And in terms of a public, there's so many great CEOs, just to name in particular, I would say I've much more idealized Steve Jobs. He has been a great visionary, and I think so he continues to uh, uh, really, motivate me personally, in a sense, to keep things simple, and how do you not give up. And I would say certainly he is one of, and I would say I would put next to him is Elon Musk. They all have been great visionary, and they all have been being able to create so much startup successfully, and create I think a world like especially with Apple, one can say it has changed the way the whole world does in the current times. The whole digitalization, whether with MacBooks or iPads or iPhones, the current pandemic has been a little bit more easier with the way they have innovative. And I think so future is with a company like Tesla, which is electrical, the way they
Right.
are going to take care of environment in a future to come. So I would say these are really the two. But there are so many other great people. You can learn, or we learn from each one of them in some manner or other every day. So I would not say that while I really look forward to them, but there's so many other great people also around us. It's an interesting time. A lot of new leadership is coming along our way.
That's very nice to know, Kishore. And you yourself as a visionary and a leader. I'm sure that all your employees and your leaders, especially in the organization, would look up to you as a leader, and take the path forward along with you, and bringing in such a great culture, both of you, and creating such a great environment, and culture, and truly see kind of humility and how grounded you people are. And I see that who else can be better leaders? I see that Fusion has got a great vision and a great roadmap. I mean, ahead of the years, and really been very innovative and been playing a very good role in the market, global market. I would say that it's been a phenomenal discussion with both of you, Kishore. It's really a great pleasure having conversation with you and Pankaj. And I really learned a lot. I'm sure that our members and community will really learn a lot uh, with our conversation. So happy having a conversation with you. I really appreciate taking your time out in the weekend and happy to support Fusion anytime from the GWFM standpoint.
Thank you for your kind words, Mr. Shiva. Once again, I would say, it's all because of our people where we have been. It's all because of their effort. A lot of people, as you know, decide to move on, but we value contribution from each and everybody who has worked along with us during this journey. You know, uh, uh, me and Pankaj are just kind of we are there, but it's all because of the people who has worked along with us during this journey, who has worked very hard to make what Fusion is today. So we truly appreciate, as you say that it's your organization is global workforce management, So the key thing is, our people during this time.
Right.
Thank you once again for the opportunity to use your platform to communicate our view.
Thank you. It's really immense opportunity for GWFM and also entire community to have you and Pankaj sharing your thoughts and ideas and also your experiences and journey. It's been a great learning. Thank you so much, Kishore, for taking your time.
Thank you.